Hello, everyone. Welcome to BlockLeap Academy. We are going to study something absolutely important, I would say, one of the most important features of Bitcoin, which is transactions. Transactions are important because thanks to this transaction, we know where all the Bitcoins and all the pieces of Bitcoin are in the network. Okay, so how transactions work in the Bitcoin blockchain. So let's dive into the belly of the beast. I remind you, Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer transaction in the network, meaning that it's a distributed network. It's peer-to-peer. Every single piece of information which is exchanged in this ecosystem or in this network must be peer-to-peer. So once you've got a peer-to-peer exchange, you in a decentralized distributed network with no centralized third party or no one checking the validity of this transaction, you must introduce several layers of security. And do you remember when we said cryptocurrencies? This level of security for transaction is going to be done by cryptography. So this is very important. So I'm going to explain very simply something which is very complicated, but this is what we do here. We try to explain in plain English the basic concept. If you want to dive in, the intermediate and advanced level will be really, we'll go deeper in even mathematics and stuff like that. But for the time being, just let's get the gist of it. Because once you understand that, you can really, because you really don't need to know what kind of algorithm is used. You just need to know that in order to protect transactions which are peer-to-peer in this distributed network, you just need to know that we are going to take, do you remember the key, the key, public key, private key pair? These now, because we were talking about this pair as the way we apply cryptography in the system, now you understand that these keys are going to be, or these concepts are going to be used today, okay? So look at this. This is a representation of, let's say, Bitcoin, okay? Or the representation of the wallets, for instance, okay? Which are exchanging, constantly exchanging Bitcoin, all right? So I am here, okay? I've got like a wallet with, let's say, 2 Bitcoins, and I want to send you, you are here, okay? I want to send you 1 Bitcoin. So what is going to happen if I send the Bitcoin? Do you remember I always send it through my, I don't have it with me, but my phone. I downloaded my wallet in my phone. I've got 2 Bitcoin. I'm going to, first of all, I need something from you. What do I need from you in order to send this Bitcoin? So very basic question. Take 1 second. I'm going to pause the video and try to find the answer. Okay, so what you need is a wallet, and you need to give me your public key, meaning your address. I need to send you, like imagine, I want to send you to your bank account. I want to send you $1,000 or euros. So you are going to give me your account number. So you have to give me your public key, all right? And with my phone, I'm going to introduce your address here. Boom, the Bitcoin goes to your wallet, all right? Very simple. But what I want to explain today is like, let's freeze this moment And let's see what's going on inside the system, how this transaction is going to be created, protected. And then we will see in the rest of the, I think, we've got like another 4 chapters. We will see what's going on, what happened to this transaction once it's encrypted, what is going to happen. So the encryption here would be the second level of security. I remind you, last chapter, we saw that the distributed network per se is a strong security. Now we are going to see that the second layer of security is how we apply cryptography to these transactions, okay? So we freeze the system, and what's going to happen? For the sake of the argument, it's way better to see the system or the mathematics, the algorithm working in it as an old man with a long white beard, Gandalf type, okay? So each time I'm going to use the old man, think of as the algorithm, all right? So what's going on when I send you the Bitcoin, this old man is going to do a first job, let's say. It's going to say, oh, wow, someone wants to send 1 Bitcoin to someone else. But this old man is not really thinking of people, because in the system, there is no picture of you, no address, no name, nothing. You are just, remember, a string of letters and numbers. So the old man is going to say, oh, this number from this wallet claims it wants to send 1 Bitcoin to this other wallet. So the old man is going to first double check if what I claim is true. Do I have, or does this wallet have 1 Bitcoin? So the old man is going to check and say, okay, yes, got 2 Bitcoins, so it's okay. And then he's going to check the other wallet is empty, but it's working. So this old man is going to authorize the transaction, and is going to give like a kind of ID to this transaction, okay? So this transaction is going to be called blah, blah, blah. It's not a sentence, it's just a string of letters and numbers, all right? So remember, because we are going to use this ID right now. So remember that in order to make this transaction possible inside the system, you need this pair of keys. We explained already, so I'm not going to go through it again, all right? Very important. So remember that here, for the creation of this encryption, the old man will need your private key, right? Before we go beyond, I'm just asking you if you saw this movie, which is The Imitation Game, which were about the enigma machine invented by the Nazis, which were, I think I talked about it before. Okay, so if you saw the movie, you can see that there were like a very powerful, at that time, very powerful machine that the Nazis were using. It was really at the beginning of the war, impossible to crack. So when Hitler wanted to attack one country or whatever, he sent it a message, and this message was so heavily encrypted, nobody could understand it, okay? So why am I talking about this movie? I'm just, again, it's going to be easier for you is to think that inside the Bitcoin ecosystem, you've got a powerful enigma machine, and I've got here this powerful enigma machine in Bitcoin, which is this, okay? I'm going to explain to you what we do with this amazing enigma machine, which is basically an encryption machine based on cryptography, okay? Right. So remember Gandalf. Now let's go and explain how this transaction is going to be processed or created before processed, okay? So it's all about a signature creation, okay? So until recently, the cryptographic algorithm was this elliptic curve digital signature algorithm. Now is the Schnorr signature. We are not going to talk about that. Just forget it. We are going to talk about it in the intermediate course, but you really don't need to know. All right. What I want you to know is the process, what's going on, which is already very complicated. Okay. So this is the enigma machine for Bitcoin. All right. Which is here. Actually, it's called signature creator. But it's better for you to remember. So you remember signature creator because in the jargon from cryptography, when you create that, you create a signature, okay? But it's always better to imagine something like real. So what is going to happen? Remember, I sent 1 Bitcoin to you. The old man is going to give an ID to this transaction. You've got it here. Okay, so there is a number, all right? This number, the old man is going to put it inside the enigma machine and is going to take your private key, my private key, because I'm sending it to you, okay? So it's going to take my private key, put it in the machine, and is going to apply this algorithm, okay, is inside the machine creator, and then is going to have one number, okay, which is called the signature. All right, this is very important. So already, if you understand that, you understand quite a lot, because we've been saying, and it's true, I didn't really explain what was the relationship with all the parts I explained before, but now you can see it's coming together. So you had a pair of keys which represent cryptography. You know what they are, the public and private key. Now we are sending 1 Bitcoin, I'm sending 1 Bitcoin to you. We are going to take the old man inside the machine, is going to take this signature, this enigma machine, and is going to put inside, this is very important, the ID from the transaction message, which is me, 1 Bitcoin to you. My private key is going to mix it up and is going to get one number, one signature, okay? And this signature, what's going to happen to it, we're going to see it in the next chapter. But remember, the old man is going to put this signature, imagine he writes it down in a piece of paper, is going to put it in a massive big bag, okay? And then what he's going to do is going to take another transaction from other people, is going to repeat the same process, okay? So this is how transactions are processed and created inside the Bitcoin ecosystem, all right? Then, but well, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. Once the signature is done, you need to have a signature checker. What is the signature checker? Is like make sure that no one hacked the process before. So the system is going always to ask through another box, which is another machine, is the signature checker. So here you've got signature creator, which is the enigma machine, okay? And then you've got the signature checker to make sure that the signature wasn't hacked. And you can see here, in order to make sure, this time you are going to take the public key and the transaction message and the signature together, and you are going to have the same system, okay? So here is the second, I would say, the second layer of security in Bitcoin. And we will see what's going on. So once you've got this, the old man's got this signature here, he put it in a big bag, and now we will see what's going to happen to this transaction. Okay, I hope you enjoyed. See you now, I don't know. See you soon.